So I'm doing some more stud work, and I'm just doing like an approximate measurement of the bathroom area and what we're going to use for our shower area as well. I'll flip the camera around so you got to look at Marmush. I think that's easier, isn't it? So at the moment that's the stud work I've put up. Again, I haven't videoed myself doing it. I'm short of memory space and stuff at the minute, you know. That Insta360, it's a great camera, but my god, the memory size of, sorry, the file size of those recordings are just astronomically big. So I don't know, I might rethink that situation. My brother was crazy over them and says, yeah, they're really good, but you need like a 500 terabit hard drive, which probably ain't invented yet, but maybe one day. So I started the stud work. That piece of wood there is an approximate measurement of how big the toilet area will be. I've marked on the floor then somewhere here the edge of the shower and where that would go. So that's okay. And we just have a small walkway around. The godsend with this boat is it's massive. We've got a lot of room, so we're taking advantage of that. But I just want to make sure that we just get some rough measurements. We haven't got to be exact to the millimetre. I mean, if it was a 57-foot boat and every inch mattered, like every inch properly mattered, then you know I'd use smaller stud work. I wouldn't put insulation in it to soundproof it a little bit. I'd have to skimp a little bit and just use 18mm boards, which they're not great. You can hear a pin drop in the boat really. I remember coming back from Stoke and you could just hear absolutely everything. So I want to try and get some thicker stud work in, put some soundproofing in, or insulation at least, and yeah, that'd be good. So there we go. I've just used CLS, plus it's cheap as well. That's another good thing. It's only like £2.70 something at Travis Perkins for a length, so it's quite good. I'm tired. So I've just got a bit of stud work in today and got rid of the bulkhead all the way around. So I'll show you the existing bulkhead on the one area. You might see it. There we go. So I've just been slicing around that with a multi-tool to get my straight edge. We'll just use some trim then just to cover that. So the other thing as well, measuring this stud work and measuring the dinette, I think we're only going to go for a 40-inch wide, not 44 or 48. It leaves hardly anything for a doorway, and I ain't the smallest of people, so I'd like space to be able to move around. I'll have a chat with Shell when we get back, but I think a single bed's 36 inches, so it's a little bit bigger than a 36-inch single bed. We might not even have anybody stay anyway, so it'll be decent enough for us to sit down, because that's where we're going to park our bums most of the time, and the dogs will be in the living room no doubt. We had the price back as well from the stove today, which is like bloody expensive. Okay, a bit more progress. So what I wanted to do was get the window in the bathroom, and the only way I could do that is to build it as an angle. So I've got a 50mm gap for the door. So that's all in. 50mm gap for the door. It should then angle off, as you can see, that piece of wood there, and then a straight, which will bring us up at the side of the window. It's going to be a bit close, but I never even eyed it up actually to see if it's level. I'm sure it is because I measured it off the wall sorry, the bottom of that wall, I measured it off, it was about 126 centimetres, which is, yeah, there. Yeah, it's only just gonna bring me right alongside that window. I'm hoping that's the case anyway, and then I can get a sink or whatever in this bit, and then the toilet over here. It should be big enough for a bathroom, I would have thought. I've been trying to, like, I've obviously put the measurements to the toilet in the bathroom, and it seems to be alright. I mean, I've obviously got to, it might be best just to tape it out. I don't know. But we had another dilemma. I thought to myself, well, the bulkhead down there at the bottom, it was only just over 50 centimetres wide before, and it's about 54 now, 55. But I thought to myself, the cooker's 60 centimetres wide, our cooker, because you can convert it to LPG, so that's not big enough to accommodate the cooker. So the only way I can do it just is to get it through there. I'm hoping there'll be enough space for me just to get it through. If not, we've got to get a new cooker with a different depth or whatever, so I can get it through. I think that was the thing. It was 60mm wide, the old one, but it was only 50 centimeters deep because it was an integrated oven. So it worked, but the big bulky one is not 50 centimeters deep. It's 60. And it's 60 wide, so I'm not going to get through that gap. The joys, the joys. But the bathroom is coming on. What I've found really useful is those boards that I've set up, a vertical piece and a horizontal. It squares off everything to the floor. It seems to be working. It's measuring out right, and it seems to be working right, so I'm going to keep using it. Fingers crossed. Should all be good. Hopefully John doesn't complain of too many twisty battens, but I've only got the shower to go and the frame obviously for the bedroom, and then that'll be it after this. So I'm hoping that I can get this done. It's quite nerve-wracking actually, but there we go. Right then, bit more progress. The room is now almost complete. So there's a just over 500mm width. We're going to have a bifold door just here, which hopefully should be okay. Like I said, I was desperate to get the window in, and I've just managed it. It's not very safe, is it? And it clattered my head on that. Crikey, I got boards everywhere. Things are falling over and all sorts. It's quite difficult, all of this, but just got to keep my cool. Another thing I've done is put 2 battens either side of the stud-work, which gives me a rough guide of where to measure off over the other side of the boat. I mean, I've marked off at the bottom, you can't really see, but off the stud-work at the bottom, I've marked a straight to run my timber alongside, and then, like I say, I've used the timbers then to give me a rough guide for that. Yeah, so that's one of the things I've found easier when I'm doing this. I don't know how that's gonna actually work out in the end when we come to fitting the doors, but I think it's doing the job. So I've got my bottom piece to put in now, which I've marked off. I cut this little piece 36mm short, which is wide enough for my batten to go up. It'll follow alongside those 2 timbers right up to the top, and then what I'll do is my door gap is 520. All of my doors are being made by the guy next door, so I haven't got to even work to a fitted door size at the B&Q or Wickes's or whatever is going to make them up for me, so we're lucky in that sense. So I'm going to run a 520 batten across there just to make sure that I've got my square for the doorway that John's going to build us, and then I'll just fit in some noggins. Oh yeah, I've got that one to do. So yeah, fit in a few noggins, and then that should be my toilet area complete then. Oh my life, it's hot on the boat today. It's like, oh, I don't know, it's probably about 38, 39 degrees inside the boat. It's just stifling hot. All the studding is pretty much complete now for the bath, or should I say the toilet. And I did the extra part for the door, so that should all be okay. I had a bit of a bloody mare, to be honest, trying to measure that off and get it all straight. Well, I'm hoping it is. John will probably say to us, oh man, it's out by about 10 mil. Oh, I tried my best. He says he'll work with it anyway, whatever we've got. He's a good workman with wood. And I also started on the bathroom. I got my level, and just attached the piece here just to work out where my straight's gonna go. I marked my 8 and 900. I think the 900 by 900 is going to be too big, to be honest. If we're going to have what I wanted to do is have a straight edge wall with a little bit of shelving behind it, not on this side in the bedroom side, but on this side here, and just have some towels and stuff, and have a little bit of a service hatch for the gulper pump. In fact, yeah, there's the drain, so I think it'll work well. I can box some of that in then under the gunwale to get to where the drain is, just there. Yeah, my first initial thoughts are an 800 by 900 would be better. So 900 that way, 800 this way, if that works. So yeah, 800 by 900 and then quadrant. Then I should be able to pick up my waste here where there's no bricks, and I'll zip along with the waste and get that in. Fingers crossed anyway, fingers crossed. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I suppose I won't know until I start ripping the floor back up. Well, it's really weird, it's going to be cutting that floor, but there we go, not to worry. Managed to finish all the stud work for the shower. The only thing I haven't done is the door frame, so that's just that piece and going down and then along there, and just maybe a bit of boxing. I don't know whether I've got enough CLS, to be honest. I've got most of the noggins in as well, as you'll see. I've built a section there to put some drawers in, That's the last of the bulkheads. No more cutting with the power tool and choking myself to death on MDF dust. I put my mask on sometimes, but I don't know. The dust is in the air and it still don't help. I try and vacuum as much as I can, and that still kicks it up in the air as well. And then cutting all of this. Another day on the boat. So today we've been doing the bulkheads. I made a right boo-boo there. I need to cut some bit out of the top because it is a bit too long anyway, and it will push up a little bit. I'm sure a little trim will sort that out. So we got the skin in the bedroom still to mark out, but it's pretty much done. So that's all the bedroom apart from that small part on the ceiling. That's looking funky. Shell's outside with the dogs. The other side, the shower, is pretty much done as well. There we go. Light. So that stud-work's done. The piece of wood for that is cut, and so is the one for this one as well. So the only wood then that we've got to do are these panels here, which I'm going to assume to be an absolute pain. Just the angles that them on. I've got a funny feeling I'm going to have a right mare with that, but there we go. There's nothing we can do about that, but I'm going to start doing the wiring. That'd be interesting. Sort out some of this mess. And not a mass of progress today. I've managed to sharpen up the edges on some of these boards, but been a bit of an error with the middle of that. It's not entirely level, I don't think. I don't know. So the shower cubicle is pretty much in. That's done and dusted. Again, there's a gap in that section there, but I need to get some corner trim, which will neaten it off, I suppose, and the top edges and the side edges. Yeah, it's not perfect, and I'm not a carpenter, but do you know what? I ain't had to pay anybody to do it. That's the main thing. But yeah, the template's there, screwed back. We've got a bedroom wall now. I'm going to chop away some more of this board, then work at boxing in the gulper pump for the shower, and do all of that before I start pinning all of the boards back. And I can't really put any of this in until the electrics have been started, so there's not that much cable going this way, in all fairness, so I'm hoping it doesn't take long to rewire. But if I use the existing socket cables as drag wire, I should be able to just pull those through. I'm not going to keep the cabling for the sockets because it's white 2.5mm non-marine flex. Hopefully I can get under the gunnel to get, and I could cut this in half actually and just use that as a drag wire there. One way or another anyway, I'll sort it. I think this is a ring main actually going in and around the boat. I remember Martin, who is the Narrowboat electrician, saying that he prefers to put two radials in, so if one side goes he's got the other, and if there's a fault as well it's easier to find. But at the minute I've only got one RCD which is powering the sockets, so I don't know, I'll work something out. In fact, the sockets are being powered by the inverter, aren't they? But yeah, anyway, I'll work something out. So for now, I've got a couple of wars in. Do you know, I was looking for this today, and I've walked past it about 30 times, and now it's there in all its glory. I was looking everywhere for it. Do you think I could find that? My life, it's just leant up against that. Gosh. Alright, small update on today. So I've been getting the little bits of trimming. So I've got that I tell you what, the scribing on this is so difficult. Well, I've done that trim anyway. Another piece of trim I've done, or bulkhead, is that section. All of this part's done as well now, the shower, as I showed you yesterday. Behind there, I've run out of wood. So behind, yeah, on the side of that door, and then when I build the door frame here at the top and round the side, I'll just have those two trims to do. But apart from that, it's mostly done, which I'm quite chuffed about. But that's going to be it for today. I've got to get back to her for a bit.